Welcome everyone to the Forsaken. We are live. Welcome chat. Hopefully you guys are having a decent Monday. Hopefully it's been okay. If not, hopefully Tuesday's better for you. So we will get right into it since we are a little bit late. I apologize. A little summary of last week. So what happened last week, and that was with episode 20. The adventurers finished their morning shopping trip in Relesk, and where Gimble ran into his ex-girlfriend Donelia at the engine, a tinkering metal workshop where, after some awkward conversation, she invited Gimble and his friends to the auction house later that evening. After the rest of the group head back for some rest, Silver finally gets some work in on the forge at the engine as well, creating something that could help her in later encounters. Later, Gimble confesses his feelings to Donelia and finally gets a different perspective on the Great One as Silver gathers everyone for a late night party. All right, and that's what happened last week. So on to this week, guys. Where do you... All right, so where we left off, let's start off with there, was Gimble and Donelia were heading to the... everyone is heading to the kind of the main floor, and I was wanting to do like a picture or a map. I apologize. Everyone's heading to the main floor of the main tower in town, and let me share out that map again for you guys of Relesk that I made. Give me 1 second. And all right, you see the top down. Yeah, that's it. All right, because I made a little key map. I don't think that you saw this since you weren't here last week, Dan. Sharing. There we go. All right, so that should be shared out to everyone now.
Nice.
And that's a top-down view of Relesk. And let me see, do we have any... I don't know if I can get that up one.
Luna Park, as we say in New England.
Or Boston.
Yeah. Awesome.
So you guys were all heading to, and maybe I'll try to get that map up on there later on OBS for viewers to see. So you guys are all heading to that center tower, the main floor of the center tower. I explained this last week, Caszeel. They have, and I think you might have heard this a couple of weeks ago, they have where they have the gala out by the front gates. They're at the pool area every night. But you need invitations to get into that. The party on the main floor of the center tower is free to anyone in town who wants to go, who doesn't have an invitation to the gala that happens just a few feet away. So as you guys walk up to the center tower, everyone else pretty much together except Gimble, who's with Donelia, who is kind of approaching from a different direction. I would say you guys kind of approach around the same time, and the first floor of the tower is completely open. There are pillars that kind of hold up the rest of the tower. You can see some staircases kind of leading to like a second floor balcony. But that whole main floor is completely open. As you're walking up to it, there are some what you would assume were okay, stuttering. Were some Relesk guards that are standing around kind of the pillars, just kind of keeping watch of any problems that are happening or will happen.
Question.
Yes.
That's Relesk guards, not burlesque guards, right?
Relesk. Correct. Not burlesque guards. That would make things a lot more interesting.
Fishnets, yeah.
Just wanted to be clear.
Absolutely. So you guys, and so you see the guards here and there, but there are people who are starting to gather, because Gimble and Donelia, of course, no one but Gimble and Donelia know this, but they just came from where a lot of the town was gathering kind of here and there for the Great One, to put offerings at the gate of the Great One. So the town is starting to kind of pile in. You are hearing some music. There's some music coming from the main from that main floor, but then also you're only about even that main floor of the tower is only maybe about 15. Gosh, not that close. Ooh, maybe about 30 feet away from the gala that is happening towards the main gate in that pool area there on that main strip going from the gate to the tower. So you do hear some music coming from there as well. As you're approaching the tower, you hear laughter. As you get towards the tower's base and get to that open area, there are tables set up with food. There are some games, like there's a game of darts being played. There are little small groups around kind of chatting with each other. Some decorative plants here and there in pots. It seems that the party is just starting to get going. And so you're kind of there at, it's like it's like arriving at a party right at the time that it's supposed to start. Things haven't really quite gotten revved up yet. So you're arriving, just about the time that everyone else is starting to. So as you guys kind of approach that main base of the tower, I mean, you have it's a nice spacious area on the base of this tower, as the tower is quite large if you're looking at the map compared to the other buildings in Relesk. So this is a very large kind of open area. And as I said, you see a small little band starting to set up over in the corner. As you approach the tower, there is a lady, maybe a human woman with a very fancy dress on that's red with some black lace, and she has a basket with a ribbon tied around it. And as you guys approach, she hands each of you a mask on a wooden stick. So it's just kind of a mask that will cover your eyes. Hello, welcome. These are not required, but if you should want to hide your identity, please feel free to take one.
Ranerius puts on the mask immediately.
Okay.
Jurble tries to.
So there isn't anything to hold it on your head. There is a stick, so you do
like
have to kind of hold it up.
Teagan will take a mask. Yes.
Take a mask, but I'll put it in a pocket.
All right.
I'll take one. Did you want one, Donelia?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I'm passing on the mask.
Okay.
I'll take one.
All right. The masks aren't uniform. They look like that they were handmade by people, someone, you don't know. But each one is decorated individually. If you would like to put some extra ribbon on your mask, there is a small table over there in the corner that has some decorations to add to it, if you want to. And welcome. I'm afraid you're here a little early, but we should be getting started soon with some dancing, music. There is some food out if you would like. The dessert buffet will be coming in a few hours later.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys. So Gimble, do you take Donelia to the rest of the group with the rest of the group?
Yeah. Hi. This is Donelia. These are the miscreants that I've been traveling with. No, I'm just kidding. These are my friends.
Hi.
How do you do?
Hi.
Donelia.
Hello again.
Hi. It's great to meet everyone.
Oh, and the one you don't quite notice is Teagan.
Oh
look
gosh, I
around.
didn't see
I'll
him
wave
standing there.
I'll wave the mask a little bit.
Hi.
There's a floating mask.
Hi.
Bugbear's Jurble. You've already met Silvra. Ranerius is the one that looks nervous.
Oh, and Jocelyn's there too.
Wren's my
Oh,
cousin.
Jocelyn? Okay.
Hi.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's
Hi, Wren.
We haven't met. I've heard a lot about you.
I'm sure.
All good things. All good things, though.
Okay, good. Whew. It's a pleasure to meet you. I didn't know. I don't think I met any of Gimble's cousins before.
Well, we're from south in Mossville, so
Okay.
you wouldn't probably know us.
I've actually been through Mossfell. Yeah. How's the town?
It's good. I've been gone for a couple weeks, I think.
Okay.
And it was good when I left. It was, same old, nothing too exciting.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that everything's well and yeah. Well, you guys will love it. I mean, as I said, as Kendra here was just saying, the party's just kind of getting started. Give it about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and as she's saying this to everyone, you'll notice that people are continuing to kind of come in, get a mask, help themselves with some food. You have maybe in this large space about probably beside your group, probably about 30 people.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'll look over at the snacks.
Oh, sure. Yeah, help yourself.
Pleasure.
It's really good. It's really nice that the townspeople kind of come together to provide the food and the refreshments, and some of it's left over from restaurants and bakeries throughout the city. Some of it's fresh baked today. They kind of take turns. We try to help out and give each other something to look forward to.
That's great.
Yeah, and this happens every night.
Oh yeah.
You come every night?
It's incredible.
Not every night. Sometimes I'm just, it gets a little tiring, working shifts, but
seems kind of expensive.
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
every night.
Who pays for it all?
well, we as I said, we try to help out ourselves, and it's kind of a nice team building exercise. And I guess anything that's left over, the city pays for.
Wow.
We're so, the city does pretty well with things. So, I mean, they also have the gala, and she kind of motions towards where they said about 30 feet away, past like the pillars of the main floor here, out towards you see like the pool in the distance, and it definitely looks more elegant over there. You see someone kind of standing on a stage that might be doing magic. People, it seems like the party has already a little bit got started over there. You hear some like distant violin music through kind of this smaller band that's kind of tuning their instruments right now in the corner of the main room here.
I'm just filling up my arm with like as many food treats as I can.
Oh yeah, yeah. The food table is it's not probably not as grand as what you would have imagined, but it does have a variety of foods. You do have a lot of bread, a lot of like cheese and some meats. So it's kind of appetizer like food right now.
Okay. I'm dagwooding it up with like cheese, meat, bread, cheese, meat, bread.
Wonderful. All right. Anything?
Is it? So you said the first floor was all like open.
It's all open. There are 2 staircases that kind of lead to a second floor balcony level. You see a few people kind of going up there. You also see kind of, those 2 staircases are kind of along I was going to say the outer wall, but kind of along the edge of this open rotunda area, and in between those 2 staircases, on this ground level, is a kind of a metal fence over 2 double doors. Well, a set of double doors.
So
there be a place on this first floor where I could perch my owl?
I mean, there are a couple of
sort of a
tables.
closed-in open space?
Yeah, there are no. Now you do kind of. It does seem that there might be a little wall going along that upper balcony, made out of stone. so he could perch there. There's also a railing kind of going up the staircase. So he could perch on the railings. Otherwise, you just have pretty much tables of like food, and you have the decorations for the masks.
But nowhere like up high out of the way. Not really.
No, unless you would perch on that second floor balcony railing, kind of little wall.
I won't bother them.
Okay.
So what is this tower, Donelia? I just haven't heard much about it other than there's a party here.
Well, there are some businesses up on the top floors. The mayor is on the very top floor. He has his office up there. That is Jackson Dampsay. You might see him this evening. I mean, he kind of goes between the two parties. Yeah, he kind of. Well, I mean, he doesn't stay very long, but he'll kind of, do his rounds, wave, smile. He seems like an okay guy. I don't really know.
Fair enough.
We'll approach Teagan. So, what is it that we're actually doing here?
Eating.
Just for fun.
Yeah, no real. I am just going to
All right.
canvas and see what I can eavesdrop on.
So I'm thinking I'll do the same.
All right, try not to bump into each other.
Fair enough. I'll hover over here next to the food table, I think. I'm calling dibs, so I'll just...
This is my turf.
I'll just elbow you like just there.
Go stand somewhere else.
Just teasing you, lad. And I'll get out underway to start, like, as some of the folks are coming in, just mingling a bit and see, like, well, if I can pick anything up about the great. I keep forgetting the great old one, the old one. Great one. Thank you.
Okay, so
very
you're
nice.
just kind of listening. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking to
Yeah.
Teagan? Okay.
No, I just was
No,
coming
that
in
was
with
for you, DM. Sorry, that's
Okay, that's
just
fine.
anything with the great one or anything that might pique my interest.
So you're just kind of listening to
awesome.
conversations as people kind of come by the food table there?
I'll introduce myself. Oh, it's great. Oh, the bread. Oh, that cheese down there. Oh,
Yeah, you have a few people that kind of... I mean, of course, people are kind of coming in and coming directly to the food table, kind of, after stopping to get their mask. Some are donning a mask, some are not. You see a variety of races, and you have walking around the city, I think I've mentioned. You do have, like, you have a couple of women in fine dresses that kind of come up to the... But not too fine. I mean, they're kind of elaborate looking, but they're not, like, super, rich.
They're not at the gala.
Right, exactly. like the highest tier that would be at this free thing. So you have a couple ladies that come up to get some, they grab some meat and cheese, a little bit here on a, each on a plate. You have a gentleman and a woman that come up. As you're listening. The two women that come up, and they're kind of picking through the meat and the cheese, and you are standing there and comment. What was your comment again, Caszeel?
Oh, that cheese down there. Oh. Just.
You just never know what they're going to bring, and they kind of titter to each other and giggle. It's a pleasure to meet you. This is Marie, and I'm Ingrid.
Pleasure, Marie.
She kind of holds out her hand, kind of limply.
Nice. I'll give a little, like, whatever. I guess I probably have some understanding of what to do. So whether
sure. So we haven't seen you here at all.
Oh, I'm just visiting. Just got here the other day. What is it that you to find folks do here in the city?
Oh, well, I help with the bake shop, and Marie here, she helps at the pet store. Actually, her husband owns it.
Oh, I see. That's great.
So what brings you to Relesk?
Oh, well, this and that. I had to make my way out of the last city I was in a bit of a hurry, and sort of look down a little bit, make sure none of the other party members heard that. And I found my way here. But I'm here tonight as invited to learn more about this celebration and then enjoy myself and learn more about this the great one. Is I think who we're all celebrating tonight, or am I way off base there?
As you say that, Caszeel, the band starts up. It's a very small. It's a very small brass band. There is a violinist. They're not quite as fine-tuned and seemingly as talented as what you're hearing in the distance from the gala, but
okay.
but they're doing their best, and it sounds actually it sounds okay. It sounds all right.
Okay.
You see a couple kind of like off, like as you're focusing on the women past them, you see a couple people kind of get up and start dancing. Oh, well, I don't, we're not here to celebrate the Great One. Even though he is, they are, they'd be worthy of a feast, or, whatever these tend to be. But, this isn't for the Great One. We just do this for fun. Do you worship the Great One?
Oh, not yet. I'm just learning a little bit. I don't know much about the Great One yet.
Well,
I don't suppose there's a place here in town that could perhaps teach me a little bit of their.
Well, you might want to talk to the mayor.
Right.
He might have more. He might be able to tell you more information regarding that. And that is, have you met Dampsay? Have you met Mayor Dampsay?
Only I think so.
Oh, well, he should be by at some point this evening. Probably not too far from now. He doesn't stay up too late, mind you. But
right.
he should be by, and he's always willing to talk. We have, as a town, worshipped the Great One for quite a while, and
I see.
they have been very good to us.
I can tell. That's.
Yes. I think it's why we're doing as well as we are, is because they have blessed us, with our sacrifice. With our have you been to the to one of the vigils?
I don't even think so. I've heard a bit about it. But no.
No?
So there's everyone offers up a sacrifice then. I've seen
of
that
our
before.
wages. Of our wages.
Oh, like a tithing. I see.
Yes.
Understood.
Yes. So we, I mean, I won't go too much into that. It's a little embarrassing, but it's something that, and it seems to have helped us, I think. And Marie's just nodding emphatically and kind of smiling at you a little bit, not forcibly, Caszeel, but like she's trying to impress you.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, that's great. I'm going to be here for 2 more days. Perhaps I can swing by your shops. I've been interested in. Do you sell any pets? I'll look over to her, or is it more like caring for other people's pets?
Oh, we sell pet supplies and pets as well. Quite a variety.
Well, perhaps I can swing by.
Oh, you should.
I think. I will. Oh gosh, what was the other shop?
The ones that you helped at a bakery.
Bakery, right? What's the name of the bakery that you work at? That you help run?
Oh, it's just Flo's Bakery.
Lovely. Well, I've been looking for some places to stop by in town. Some authentic locations.
Absolutely, you should stop by. Anytime of.
Great. Well, I think I'm gonna try and catch the mayor before they retire for the night. But perhaps I'll see you here on the dance floor before the next
Sure,
day.
sure. The mayor hasn't came down yet. I don't, and she kind of looks around the room. He's not here yet. I mean, he might be over at the gala maybe, but he should be stopping by here at some point. Not too long from now. At least that's my assumption. That's my speculation, at least.
I see. Well, thank you to you both very much for the lovely conversation.
Yes.
And I'll keep an eye out for you later on the floor.
We'll just be standing over there, waiting for some calling cards, and they will kind of just turn and flutter off. Both of them kind of peeking over their shoulder at you, Caszeel, as they're walking away, and you hear kind of a little giggle between them.
That's great. I'm going to just report that to Teagan. Like I'll find my way back over. In passing, I'll gauge if Teagan's okay with me encroaching on his area to tell him, because I don't have message on this character.
As you're walking over to Teagan, you do notice that the crowds have grown. Now you're looking at where it was 30 people beside your group. It's looking to maybe about 50. There are about 6 couples out on the floor, dancing to the to the music. It's kind of a waltz right now, but still sounds good. But the room is kind of filling up with conversation and laughing, and you also see a couple of about 4 carts. It looks like maybe waiters of sorts wheeling in 4 carts with various alcoholic beverages on them.
Donelia, did you want to dance?
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Great.
Right. So you
literally Gimble's like bright red.
Okay. You lead Donelia out on the dance floor, then.
Goodbye.
Make
I'm giving you a thumbs up in the corner.
Make a performance check, Gimble.
I was really hoping you weren't going to do that. I mean, Donelia said that I was a very good dancer before, so
well then make it with advantage, Gimble, because you're right.
That'll save me because I get no bonuses on performance.
Oh,
Is that only one? Yeah, it did. Okay, there's a 10. That's good. Oh, that one rolled with advantage. Okay.
All right. Okay. You're doing well. Donelia, however, Gimble, as you're dancing with her, you remember her being a lot, I mean, she's typically kind of a smooth individual anyways, not too much rattles her. And you remember this from before as well. But as you're dancing with her, she seems a little, I don't know, a little awkward, and a little like that she's trying too hard to try to impress you. And so like her fear, she kind of messes up on some of the steps, and she kind of laughs awkwardly, and I don't know. Gosh, maybe I need to get a drink or something. I'm sorry, but you're doing well.
Love to get one for you.
Oh, well, but,
or I'll just walk you over there and you can pick your own.
We can finish this dance if you're not too embarrassed to dance with me.
Not in the slightest.
Okay. And you'll see a little kind of flush on her cheeks.
All
right. So, Caszeel, you were talking with Teagan. Did you have a response to what Caszeel told you, or?
I'll acknowledge him, and Caszeel will feel something hit him in the back of the head as he walks away. Thanks for coming on over. But Teagan's just going to he's going to be sort of like getting away from the band because he doesn't want to hear all that noise. but he's going to look for
noise.
noise. Yeah, but mostly he's just going to listen for sounds of discord, like somebody who's not happy. Because looking around, you see all these people are just.
Yeah, everyone looks.
It's impossible for everybody to
everyone
be
looks
happy.
pretty at ease with themselves right now. Do a perception check for me, Teagan.
Sure.
Okay. You are you are looking around, Teagan, and just listening for any discord or any kind of complaints or arguments or anything. You're not seeing any. But then kind of right beside of you, you hear someone go, "Oh, man." And you look over and it's Lashta from the charity house, and she's just kind of standing there, arms folded, in her like black clothing and her white hair, kind of up in its ponytail, and just shaking her head. Enjoying yourself?
Just taking it all in.
You don't seem too impressed.
Just curious. This just seems to be out of sorts a little bit. You learn to notice these things that there's for everybody to be this happy. It strikes an odd note in me. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just where I came from, or just the places I've been. But this is certainly an oddity for me. So I'm just taking it all in, looking to see what's really going on here.
You've never been in a place where people weren't expected to be happy. I mean, to be unhappy, or people. Let me reword that as a DM. You were never in a place where you were expected not to be unhappy. Where you were, you couldn't talk about politics. You couldn't talk about anything bad going on. You couldn't talk about all the things that make people unhappy. So
you can't talk about those things here?
Well, it's just discouraged. I mean, people, if you try to talk about with anyone, they kind of blow you off or walk away or, change the subject to, the weather or, how great their business is doing, or, it's kind of an unspoken rule, I guess.
That's odd. I mean, where I've come from and where I've been, it's for the most part, not every city, but for the most part, you're free to speak whatever you want to say.
It's not so much about freedom, just as an expectation. I don't know. I mean, I find it bogus, but also it kind of reminds me of home a bit.
Where was home for you?
And I believe I mentioned that she was Elvan looking.
Okay.
Oh, just an Elven clan somewhere. You wouldn't know it.
Huh.
But I wasn't there long, but I do remember, I was there as kind of a teenager, and you just weren't expected to talk about those things. Like, everything's under the hat. Everything's, if something bad happens, then, something good will happen. So why talk about the bad things? I'm not defending it. I'm just giving a perspective.
It's been that way ever since you've been here?
Oh, Relesk? Yes. Yeah. These people are kind of, I don't understand them. I've tried to, just between you and me, I've tried to break their ranks a bit and, try to get them to give a little gossip or something juicy, but they won't. So.
So it's not just me. You've noticed it as well.
Oh, sure. But I
Okay.
don't really. We're kind of separated in the charity house, so we're not amongst the town folk as much as the town folk are. So, it's especially, since we don't come out that often, it's strange when we do and experience it, I guess.
Did the children enjoy the candy?
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, I think for your hospitality, it's bring a little happiness to this place of eternal happiness, but a little bit more happiness. It just seems, something that they could have used.
Looking over at her, Teagan, this is probably the first time you've seen her smile.
That's good to see.
That was nice. Thank you. They did.
Anything we could do? I mean, we've come upon you rather, suddenly and uninvited. So, but anything we can do.
That's an understatement. It's been a wild ride.
Oh, you have no idea.
You guys are a trip. That's for sure.
Expect the unexpected with us.
She kind of motions towards Silver and Jocelyn. Should he be out?
He's been through a lot, so maybe some fresh air and some levity would maybe help. I'm sure Silver will keep an eye on him. It's indeed, he has had the far worst of things so far from all of us.
So, I guess I'm not sure if it's already been asked, but is there anything that you guys need help with? I mean, I know, we're already letting you stay at the charity house, and
but just for so I'm not.
I mean, besides that,
Yeah.
you guys seem to come out of a strange situation, so it seems only right to just make sure everything's okay.
So far, yes. There's been a lot of. I mean, there's some. Well, not really. Are you aware of the situation? What was going on with Regina and Baryn?
You mean Baryn? You mean? And she kind of lowers her voice even more. It was already kind of low, but you mean it falling?
Yeah, and the abuse of mages and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, we've gotten, but I don't think that was the end. That's going to be the end of it. It seems like there were other cities that were floating, and it seems like there's been a lot of things going on from a bigger standpoint. Now we're nowhere near to getting anywhere near to what the heck's going on, but we may be pursuing that. But right now, we're just sort of on loose ends right now, trying to figure out where to take it from here.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, I'll be I don't know about the others, but I'll be staying at the Bristol. I don't want to
Wait,
impose
why?
on your hospitality. I don't want to impose
It's
on your
fine.
hospitality.
Aiden offered it to you. It's okay.
I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. It's you have a lot of mouths to feed, a lot of people to take care of. I don't want to.
Teagan, right?
Yes.
It's fine. In fact,
Okay.
Aiden would see it as possibly a slight to his, manly ego if you decide to stay somewhere else. He likes to be helpful, not in an egotistical way, in that he, not that he never does it expecting repayment. He just likes to help people. It's a sickening quality about him, but there it is.
Understood. Understood. All right.
Well, I'll leave you to whatever you're doing here. And she'll just kind of walk in and walk over towards the table.
All right. I will continue on my way.
Silvera, so what are you and Jocelyn doing? There are, and I will say that I didn't mention it before, but there are a few probably tables kind of around the outer edge of this main floor. You know, it's all in a circle around the edge there that you could sit at or sit Jocelyn at if you wanted to.
Yeah, she would have helped sit Jocelyn at a table and then go and get a plate of food for each of them.
Okay.
With like fruit and piece of bread and
Okay.
do they have meats or anything?
Yes, they had it's a lot of mostly breads, cheeses, and meats for right now, and then there's the 4 carts of the alcohol that was brought out a few minutes ago.
I'll avoid the alcohol for now, but
Okay.
pile up plates for food and bring it back to the table.
Thank you.
Welcome. I figured you needed something a little more. I don't know.
I appreciate
How
it.
do I talk again?
It's nice in here. This, you know, I mean, I'm seeing in the dark, but the city seems nice.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
What do you plan to do after all of this? Do you plan to go back to, Fairweather and
It's a good question. I mean, I really can't go back to Fairweather. At least not while Rinka's there.
wait, that's it. They'll think you're dead. Oh.
Yeah, they probably do think I'm dead, and even if I didn't want them to think that, they wouldn't welcome me back at the college for sure. I wouldn't trust my life there. Not anymore. But did Juanita ever find you guys? That was the one with the arm. You had to cut the gem out of her arm.
Yeah.
Oh, Juanita.
Hey, but was that during Gimble and Silver being in jail?
Yeah.
When the last we saw her was she
'cause-
headed back to her house in.
But I think you
gave
did.
me Gimlet.
Yeah, you did. You did meet
Okay,
her, Silvera.
yeah. She's really nice.
Good.
Everybody's howling in the background.
I asked her to help you guys out. So I'm glad that she made it out. But as far as what I'm doing, I don't know. I lived in Fairweather for so long, and maybe here. Maybe this will be it. I don't know.
Do you think you'll stay here?
I mean, it seems. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could probably talk to Aiden and make sure that magic is, okay here. And if it is, then maybe I'll. Stephanie, you gotta look up this note really here. Maybe I'll, head over to Zelfer, to their mage college.
Do you think that you'll be safe at any mage college?
I don't know. They don't really talk, it's not like they're in some kind of, as far as I know, I don't think they're in cahoots with each other. I could check there and...
Like, considering how the last couple of sessions went.
What?
I was like, considering how the last couple of sessions went. I was just like, oh man. Just settle down in the middle of a field or something.
they might. I'd kind of like to teach again. I don't know if they have anything here. I guess I could ask.
Well, I don't think we'll be staying here for a really long time. When we leave, do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay and figure out what you would like to do?
Well, it's a kind offer, and it's a tempting one. I guess we'll see how I'm doing. I mean, maybe. Do you know where you guys are going yet?
Nope. Not a clue.
Well, that'd probably be going to the
Like
decision
stuff
as
in
well
our
on what you guys are planning on doing.
Aren't we living here forever?
Gotta make sure we get out of the city without killing it first.
So maybe.
How about this? What? Wow, this party is so loud. Once we make a decision as a group and all that, I'll let you know, and you can make. It's okay if you say no and you don't want to come with us. You've already been through enough. I did kind of exploded your life a little bit, with all the stuff going on and what we were doing in town, and I'm sorry.
It could have happened with or without you being there. It was already happening. They were already...
but would we have... I don't know. She just grabs a thing of meat and just starts eating it and thinking like she just has her thinking cap on, it's like staring off into space. Like, would it have happened though? Like, I don't know.
Listen, I've learned in life that it's not helpful to look into the past and wonder what could have been different, or how things could have been different, or if you could have been different, but only what actually helps yourself and helps other people is to look into the future and to look what you're doing now and doing tomorrow.
I worry too much about the future, so present.
Oh, what do you worry about the future?
Well,
is it the maid? Is it what you've seen so far?
I've seen worse.
Oh, well, that's really interesting. We'll have to talk about that sometime.
I don't think you. How's the cheese?
Oh, he'll take. He actually probably hasn't touched his plate yet, so he'll start eating some cheese.
I may or may need to show you something if you decide to stay and settle down and throw down roots or whatever. Oh, bless your heart, I've been hating for this, but I feel like it's really important. Like if we leave town and you stay and stuff like. Anyway, we can talk about it later, okay?
Okay.
How about that dancing?
What did you?
Just like I was just like, how about that dancing?
Oh. I mean, after I get some cheese in me, we can try.
Cheese.
The code word is cabinets.
Nice.
Wait a minute, you're talking to me about cabinets. Look at you, little Mr. Tap Dance over there.
Yeah, if you guys, if any of you like You guys make perception checks well, except for Teagan. Teagan's good. The rest of you make perception checks for me. Oof, Silvera, you are distracted.
That was horrible.
A
my
10 for Caszeel.
I need
Okay.
to wait to roll last.
19 for Jurble. You can actually see
Not
something
great.
with the mask.
Jurble wipes the dust from his eyes. And
So anyone with a 15 or above, well, except for Gimble because you're experiencing this, anyone with a 15 or above will notice Gimble just killing it on the dance floor with Donelia. I mean, it's a
Air
waltz
walking.
and it's like, but then they kind of start into a quicker tune and you see Gimble kind of just go for it, and it's quite surprising. Well, given knowing his energy levels, maybe not that surprising, but you're just like, dang, I didn't know.
oh, this one's my song.
Let's see here. For anyone, let's see, Jurble, Ranerius, and Wren. You would notice, Caszeel, you're busy with, just kind of talking to someone at the table. But Jurble, Ranerius, and Wren notice this kind of rotund human male, short, kind of like this waistcoat, wearing this waistcoat that's kind of like bursting, at the button. Dark suit with suspenders. His hair is kind of greasy looking, kind of come into one side of this main floor, and he's kind of dabbing sweat from his forehead, and as he comes in, a small crowd, and I would say this would probably even catch Gimble's and Ranerius' attention too. A small little crowd, some people who are around that area in this open room start clapping. And so so you see this guy come in, people are clapping, they're kind of setting down their dishes or their drinks and going over into, and talking to him when, to a couple at a time. It's just a short conversation, just kind of it looks like maybe pleasantries. You wouldn't be able to hear it unless you're standing right there beside them. But there's smiles, it looks like pleasantries, and then, this rotund man will move on to the next two and then to the next. As he's like making his way into this main hall area, and then I would say that around this time as well, Teagan, make another perception check for me, please.
Certainly. I die. Oh boy.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
Band's playing heavy metal.
Jurble, you actually notice that along with that, you kind of look around the crowd at the same time that this man enters, and look around the crowd, and you see coming in from almost the opposite side, from through a couple pillars, Ingot, and just kind of stepping in very slowly, and she looks around and just kind of walks off into a crowd. Because they're simulated conversation. That's great.
Jurble, after spending like half the entire time trying to get a mask on, he's just gonna like throw it away. And then he's gonna go over to where the lady said there was like ribbons or whatever decorating things.
Okay, yeah.
And he's gonna like get out a ribbon, and he's gonna just pull out the bag of colors, pull out a full sunflower, and just like try to like tie it to his chest.
Oh, that's so cute. Make a sleight of hand check for me, or make a dexterity roll for me.
Dexterity, that's slightly better.
To tie the sunflower.
Hey.
Yeah, you were able to tie the sunflower into the mask, Jurble. Are you just tying one?
Oh, I was kind of like going to try to tie it to my chest, like to the man, because I was tired of fooling with the mask.
Oh, okay.
So, because sunflowers are like pretty
Mm-hmm.
big, so it's just, and not even like just the flower part, like the stems like hanging down and everything.
Wow.
Just,
I mean, you do a good job. You do a good job.
thank you. And then after he does that, Jurble's gonna kind of just, walk around the floor.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna keep an eye out for, I guess, just any. Well, I mean, is everyone like seem like they're an adult here?
Yeah, I mean, you might see a few, a small group of teenagers kind of off to the side, and another group, maybe a couple hanging out on the steps on one of the staircases. Maybe some, if you're looking up to, at the second floor balcony level, they're just kind of standing there chatting and looking over. But you don't see any children here, probably because it's getting kind of later in the evening by now.
Okay. Does he notice like any elvish people that might remind him of somebody?
Right. I mean, you do see, with your perception check, you do see some elven people. They said the races in Relesk, as far as you've been able to tell, are pretty, there's a wide variety of them. Some more represented than others, humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes. There's a good portion of gnomes, and there are other ones kind of sprinkled in, some tieflings here and there, a couple of drow, but yeah, so you do see some elves. You do see, with that high perception, or you do see Lashta kind of standing off to the side and eating, kind of picking at some cheese and bread on her plate, and looking around the room with a little bit of a raised eyebrow. Yeah.
Okay.
But none of them, to answer your question, I guess, I mean, you would notice that, as far as characteristics that would go along with what you're talking about, I mean, you do see a couple of kind of more tanner looking, dark, not, when I say dark skin, I mean like a tan look to them, elves, which goes along with a few things I think you're speaking about. Lashta is kind of she has some darker tanned looking skin.
Okay. I'll do one kind of lap around the floor, just kind of see see if people are like glancing at me, knowing, I mean, I know I'm a bugbear, but specifically I want to try to like see if anyone's like noticing the sunflower.
Oh, okay. Oh God. Okay. As you're walking around, no one really. I mean, you get a few smiles, coy smiles from some other species, but and you don't see any bugbear around here. That's for sure. But as you're kind of going around the room, you do pass Lashta. And she, hey, nice sunflower.
Thank you. Are you familiar with these kinds of sunflowers?
I mean, they're at the flower shop.
Yes, that's
where I got them. Actually grew up around a lot of sunflowers.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she's like picking at her plate and sticking a little piece of bread in her mouth. Yeah, they were kind of all over the place where I grew up. So I will say the Gatsby's has some, really good ones. And actually, I think that she might get them around the same place. It wasn't too far from here, but
interesting. The reason I have the flower. I went to Gatsby's to ask about these specific flowers because I've been actually trying to find a place that's sort of valley filled with sunflowers. That I was told was near here. In fact, Gatsby even kind of gave me a job to go collect them.
Oh, that's probably it.
So, how? I'm
How
sorry,
are
I
you
don't mean to.
familiar with the field of sunflowers?
I had a close friend who would always talk about it, and I made her a promise that I would go see it.
Yeah. Was she Elvan?
She was.
What clan was she from?
I'm just gonna kind of like glance around and then just she was her clan name was Amar.
Oh, that's my clan.
Oh, it is. Well, that's
It's a pretty big one.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like, you're not searching for a needle in a haystack, but, maybe a large rock in a haystack.
Oh. what a small world. Would you like one of the sunflowers I had? Gatsby gave me a whole bouquet.
Oh, no, I don't really have great memories from there, so that's all right. I like looking at them, but I don't need one besides it will just die in a day.
I don't mean to pry into your history or
I
anything,
bet you are.
Yes. Touche.
She'll smirk.
I'm sorry, I've just been trying to find this valley for a long while, and knowing that it's close by has caught me off guard after the few weeks me and my companions have had.
I'm a little separated from, the tribe. Like I said, not great memories. But that wasn't the tribe's fault. But it's weird because they don't really like bugbears. It was the slight problem. Some history there. So
Yeah.
it's a little strange that you had a friend.
Our friendship was a unique one.
That's weird.
Yes. It was weird. But
Like a good weird, or like are we talking like a slave situation, or
No. We just
you're being
in
really
the
vague
same.
right now.
Yes, but I stopped prying into your history. Maybe we should, call it even. I just
Okay.
I'm just gonna grab food, just like shift it.
What, from her plate? You're not standing by the table.
Oh, we're not? Okay. I'm just gonna. Is there any like anything like a waiter or someone walking around? No, I'm just.
Sure. There. I mean, you'll probably see a waiter walk around with like a tray to refill some things at the food table. Sure.
I'm just gonna grab something from him.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're a weird one.
That's. I'm a bugbear.
What was your friend's name?
Um, and Adriana.
No. I wish I knew her, but I don't.
It's It was a long time ago that I think she was at the field at the valley with her clan.
Yeah, we do have some. Had a couple of. Happened a couple of times, a couple of splits, where we would have one group that would leave for certain reasons, or another group that would leave. It was a little tumultuous with the leadership in that clan. I'm not gonna say otherwise, but well, hopefully, wherever she found herself, she was at least happy.
Me too.
So what's that? And she kind of motions towards the head, and motions towards the thing in your the blue wrapped thing on your belt.
Oh, it's just a cheese wheel I carry around. It's a special cheese wheel.
Got it.
I'm saving it for a special thing.
That sounds okay. I think we've talked enough. And she just kind of walks off.
I'm just gonna stand there.
Well done.
Ranerius, what are you up to?
I was hanging out with Gimble and Donelia until they went off to dance. But
Okay.
Ranerius would have found a corner of the room to start casting comprehend languages as a ritual.
Okay.
I don't know if that's frowned upon here.
Okay. Yeah, you can step off to the side. Yeah, I mean, you can probably go to one of the if you're looking for a quiet place, probably the best place would be upstairs on the balcony.
Just somewhere out of sight. You don't want to raise
If you
want
to kind of go out, you know, as I said, this is open, but it has pillars that kind of, you know, or on the outside wall. If you want to kind of go on one of the other side of those pillars and kind of, you know, in that area, as you're going out there, like you'll try a couple places, and there are, you know, some couples getting a little frisky out there between this party and the gala. But you do find one place kind of towards the back, actually towards like where the staircases go up, but on the outside, you know, on that main floor, I guess. So kind of on the outside of the building.
Cool. So I'll take 10 minutes, cast it as ritual, and then it lasts for an hour.
Okay. Cool beans.
Or 2 or 3 sessions.
All right. Those in the ooh. Those in the main area still see that the person I mentioned earlier walk around, that man. Everyone roll perception checks for me again, please.
I see very clearly with a 20. Not natural 20.
Nice.
Got a 1.
Ooh, 18 for.
All right.
Well,
That conversation with Lashta messed Jurble up because you can't see nothing now.
So Caszeel, Gimble, Teagan, Wren, and Jurble. Or not Jurble. Jurble, that's your dexterity throw. So anyone above like a 13 or above. So we'll give it to you as well, Teagan. Will as you're kind of standing where you are, you'll hear people talk about Mayor Dampsay. And in reference to the man who had walked in earlier, the returned gentleman with the greasy hair. And in fact, those same people will also kind of see them, see who you know now as the mayor, kind of go around the room talking to everyone, some people at the tables. In fact, Silvera, he'll pass by your table and just kind of nod and just kind of keep going. Still kind of damping sweat from his forehead. And he finds, he'll find like a lady at one of the tables who is sitting alone, or actually he finds one that's sitting with a gentleman, but of course he lets him like take her kind of on the dance floor to kind of do a few steps of a waltz before he becomes a little winded and, goes back and to grab some cheese and meat from the table. And also a beverage.
I'll just shoot Teagan a look from across the floor, like, is that the dude?
Wren, what are you up to right now?
In the midst of all that happening,
Yes.
I kind of look at everybody in the crowd and kind of physically look uncomfortable with all the people, though I quickly graze over the crowd to see if I see a familiar face, but don't. So then I kind of just and I say to Pip, let's get out of here, and I go up one of the stairs to one of the balconies.
Okay.
And kind of just go.
Yeah, I will say before you would have noticed Lashta. You would have you probably would have noticed, I would say that natural 20, where you would have noticed Ingot kind of amongst the crowd, just kind of standing with a drink in her hand. And of course, the people that you came in with. So going up to one of the balconies, as you go upstairs, you pass a couple of like teenagers sitting on the steps. You get up to the top, and this is kind of where people, along with the outside, where people kind of have tucked away to, get more familiar with each other. Not in an intense terms, but making out is happening. But you are able to find a little nook kind of off to the side that has a couple of tables. That is kind of, it's a little bit a lighter area. They're kind of hanging out in the darker areas of this kind of balcony. It is a little bit open in a couple of areas. Like it kind of goes, you can see out to the outside to the city. But then you can also kind of look over the balcony at the party below.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to the kind of just the edge that looks out the city, and Pip will kind of jump down onto the railing, just kind of sit there, and I'm gonna pick a kind of one of my rations and give her some, and kind of just sit there for a bit.
Did you bring Mags with you?
If it would have been appropriate, I didn't know if I would have brought her if somebody that was going to the party would have, unless somebody would have said, oh, you don't want to take her. Otherwise, she would have came.
I mean, you wouldn't. You had all your people in your party, so no one would have known.
Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, she came with me, and she's kind of just.
You're not really. I mean, Max tends to stay pretty close to you. She doesn't really wander off. So you're not really getting any weird looks or anything. In fact, you might see maybe another person with a couple people with dogs that come with them that kind of stay by their side or sit on their lap. They're lap dogs or something. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have you make a roll for Mags for me.
Okay.
Make a. Let me see here. Make an insight check for. How about make an insight check for me. Oh,
first
for Mags.
First check for mags. Oh, I should probably click on mags so it rolls 4 mags. Here we go. So insight is what you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
14.
Max seems a little uncomfortable. Like, as you're going up here and you're kind of settling in this upstairs balcony area, Max is looking. She's, even though she usually stays close by you, and when you kind of settle in one place, she kind of lays down. She's looking, kind of keeping her ears perked up, and here and there she'll kind of do a little bit of a.
So not like ears perked up like something bad's about to happen, but ears perked up as in she's curious about something.
Yeah.
If I could tell the difference.
She definitely, I mean, it is kind of a new thing to you, but I would say that you probably have seen this before, given kind of what, given that you're a ranger. She looks like that she is kind of looking, that she's keeping her ears perked up to kind of keep an ear out for something.
Gotcha.
She's a little bit on alert.
Gotcha. I'll probably ignore her for the first, given the time frame that we've been doing things, probably ignore her for the first couple minutes, and then probably after the 4th or 5th noise she makes of interest or intrigue, I'll probably then notice and kind of just, is something up? What's up? What's going on? Do you notice something? Do you need something?
She'll kind of lay her head on her paws and just kind of look up to you, but her ears are still kind of perked up. But that's it.
Is Mags is probably not. Oh, let me look at something here. Well, I guess she's a bit more than normal. So first I'm going to say, can you show me? Kind of with the idea of a command saying, take me or show me point to what you're worried about.
She will stand up and and she'll go over to the railing on the balcony and get on her hind legs and just put her paws up and look over at the crowd below.
Okay. I'm going to say let's go, and I'll go back downstairs to the wherever the teens were on the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Near the bottom of the steps. I'll kind of just sit down there.
Okay. All right. And so you do.
And obviously I'm hoping Mags is following.
Yes, Mags follows you. Yeah. Yes, Mags follows you and will kind of sit beside you on the step and kind of look around in the crowd as you're sitting there.
Does she seem less agitated?
She seems just as alert as she was. She's not whimpering anymore, but she is alert. All right.
Okay, I'll stop there.
Okay. All right, Caszeel, you've been having a simulated conversation for a while. What are you up to? So you were trying to get Teagan's attention. The mayor has went back over to the table and is getting some meat and cheese on his plate.
Okay, that's fine. Just give me your hand. Sorry.
It's okay.
You gonna scooch up? Okay, bedtime. Past bedtime. Okay. Let's see. You're right. I was trying to just get Teagan to see the mayor in case he didn't already, which is silly because he probably did. Right. I will excuse myself from the 3 individuals with which I'm conversing currently, and find my way over to. Let's see. Silver's with Johnson. Wren's with the puppy wolf. Gimble's dancing. Jurble's awkward. Jurble, are you still awkwardly standing somewhere?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm gonna cruise over to you. Warily, but not. won't show that. I'll head over. Oh, so I'm still not quite sure what we're supposed to be doing here. I mean, having some fun and there's some interesting people, but and the food's good.
I think we're honestly just here because Gimble was on a date with his ex, and Silver said, "Let's all go."
Sure. Okay. All right. Sounds about right, doesn't it?
I mean, we've been through so much. I mean, I don't know.
Right. I suppose part of me thinks we deserve it, a little breather, but then part of me remembers the catastrophe that follows us.
I mean, it's not much we can do if we had a way to get back there right now, I would, but I mean, what can we do?
Feast and dance, I suppose.
Yeah.
Don't you feel right? Did you see that? Apparently, that. I mean, don't look right away, and I'll kind of look off in another direction, point up at something. But that really disgusting, greasy person over there is the mayor.
Jurble turns and looks.
Don't, no.
In the most obvious way possible, right?
Hey, he's the one that's out of breath over there, getting off the dance floor. I mean, to each their own, and certainly,
yeah,
you can't help but if your hair's greasy, you can't help it. But I don't.
Jurble has not taken a shower since he slipped in all that oil 3 weeks ago.
No.
So you say greasy hair, and it's just like
nice. Oh, so it's alright. Can I help it? I think I might take a stab at speaking with him and seeing if I can. Have you learned anything about the great one?
Yeah. I guess you can. I think I'm talked out for the night.
Oh no!
But also, I don't know if the lone bugbear should just go up and talk to the mayor of this town and start. I think I'm just gonna lay low for a while.
Right.
But unless you were you telling me so you could have backup or something?
Just I saw you over here, and then you looked a little bit awkward, like maybe something had happened, and I thought, can't you just leave? Can leave the lad there and come over and say hello and make sure everything's all right?
Of course, everything's all right. Why wouldn't everything be all right?
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. No reason.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose people judge a bugbear by their looks before taking the time to get to know you. So I'll head over to the mayor by myself and go from there.
I'll keep an eye out then. Though everyone seems pretty content here.
Right.
So I don't think there'd be
too much trouble. And we can't fall, right?
I mean, no one's trying to kill us yet, so.
Listen, Jurble, I also wanted you to know that I know during the whole fiasco with Silva and Gimble, I understand what you're trying to do, and I hope you understood where I was coming from, but I'm sorry that that put you a bit in the middle.
I mean, in the end, it got us to where we needed to go.
Hey.
Just starts thinking about it, just like, Stop talking.
Yeah. I'll kind of pat you on the arm and like feel the oil. Hey, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Look, as terrible as things have been, we can feel terrible about them, but it's also all right to enjoy things like this as well. We can feel both things. It's all right. So enjoy yourself if you can.
Right. Have fun talking to Greasy McMare over there.
Oh.
Okay.
Try the cheese on the table over there. There's 3 cheeses. Try the one that's like stark white. Oh, it's fantastic. It's sharp. Delicious.
As soon as he said cheese, my hand just kind of went to my bundle. Just like,
nice.
Right, cheese. Walk off.
Awesome. And I'm not right now, but I ultimately will go over to the mayor at some point when it looks like an opportune time.
Okay. As you're kind of looking in that direction, Caszeel, and kind of, muster up the will to kind of step over there to him. You kind of notice as some of the crowd kind of shifts a bit that he's speaking with a very familiar face.
It is me bastard, is it?
I don't know who.
The me bastard, the one that looks like me but 10 years older?
No.
Okay,
no.
good.
It is
Sorry.
No,
Really?
you notice it as one of the High Council people from the floating city of Baryn. And
I say under my breath.
Just as you notice that, you hear some kind of applause going on around you as some waiters bring in the desserts to sit on the table. And that's where we'll take our bio break.
Well done.
All right.
Nice.
For those who are watching in chat, thank you for being here. We are going to cut to a bio break. We take an 8 to a 10-minute bio break for us to refill our waters, go to the restroom, that sort of thing. So hang tight, and we will be right back.
Yay!
Mics are hot.
Woot woot!
That is wild. What is that, Joe? What is it?
This is a
I can't stop looking at it.
a combination of some COVID supplies that were supposed to go to hospitals and volunteers. And,
Yeah.
here on my desk, so I
Wow.
tied them all together. Zip ties.
Wow, that's
Nice.
incredible.
And there we have a mask.
It's
Ta-da!
incredible.
All right, I need some food and some coffee.
True that.
Oh my gosh, it was like day.
So Costco sells low carb ice cream bars. They're amazing.
See, my problem isn't so much carbs as it is sugar. And the best you could do with ice cream and sugar is no sugar added, which doesn't mean sugar free.
This one is
Just-
it's got 7 grams of sugar alcohol and 1 gram of sugar.
See, that's I see that a lot, and I never bothered to look it up. Like sugar alcohol.
Like
Like-
artificial sugars are usually a sugar
Yeah.
alcohol.
Okay. Good old Splenda.
I just ate my first piece of my first strawberry rhubarb pie that I made this year. By I mean my wife probably did 60% of it. But I cut the rhubarb, okay? I guess as soon as we have time, I'll break it off.
Something I'm gonna go back to the ice cream thing. Just last night it's like we only have like one like small carton of like the no sugar added ice cream, and it's just like I got a little bit of that, but then it's like I wanted more, but I didn't want to take the whole like carton. So we also have like no sugar added like Klondike bars. And so like I just put a Klondike bar on top of my ice cream and just like got a spoon and was like, "Ah!" So I was like, my family like saw me do it. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I have to give it texture."
Oh my. Yeah. Joe's definitely making me feel bad about myself. I just finished my probably 10 cookies worth of cookie dough.
Oh,
wow.
See, that's
But I eat it as the cookie dough, so I can just say, well, I'm just
So easy
having
to
a
do.
cup of cookie dough.
So
See-
easy to do.
See, that's like one of the things in my life that like my mom like never let us eat cookie dough.
Yeah.
It's like riots. She's like, you'll get poisoned or
I'm gonna make it
whatever.
myself.
Always do.
And I was always just like, it hurt. And then, by the time like I was on my own and I could like, get my own cookie dough, it's like that's when I like became diabetic. So it was like, oh well, that ship sailed.
And there goes that. Oh man.
Yeah, I was making brownies the other day. I was like, I should just eat this brownie batter because I totally could. But then I was like, no, because then I'll eat an entire box of brownies
Coming in from
in like
Rio.
10 spoonfuls.
Right, it's
One
like
of the-
I just had a bowl.
Just
It's
how
not
big
that-
was
just
the
one
bowl? How big was the
Just
bowl?
one bowl of brownie
How big
batter.
was the bowl, Andrew? How big was the bowl?
Standard mixing bowl? I don't see what
One of the saddest things is my aunt for my entire life, like for birthdays and like for Christmas and for events, she'd like make everyone homemade fudge. Like that was her thing.
Yes.
But then like, after like, my mom is diabetic, I'm diabetic, and so it's just like, well, it's just not fair for me to, give other people fudge and not get it for you. So I'm just gonna stop giving out fudge. It's like, Or you could just
So the whole
give me
family
fudge.
hates you.
Well, it's like hey, pretty much. Well, no, she has brought out like rare occasions, and then she'll be like, Jonathan, you can't have any, and I'm like, what?
Well, if she ever does start giving out fudge again, my address is.
Nice.
I'll put it in
yeah.
the chat. I'll put
I
it.
actually, it was
Stanton.
Stanton. Yeah, Stanton sent me
He
fudge,
makes
and I
really
was
good
like,
fudge. Yeah.
and like that was like my secret, that was like my secret stash.
I
that
wonder
was
who
like,
gave him your address.
I think it was Madeline.
It was me.
Oh, it was you? Sorry. Thought you were being
I
serious.
did not know
My
Stanton
bad.
made fudge.
Yeah.
Get on that mailing
it's
list.
Really good. It's really good.
I remember I said I can't. It's like how I am with like sugary stuff. It's like I can't ask for it because then it'll be my fault. But if someone asks on my behalf,
If
and
someone
it just happens
gives
to
it
get,
for
it happens to
That's
appear. That's a different thing entirely.
Use my time to actually do something productive, but I did not. All right. So, all right, we will come back. We're back, chat. All right, let's take this off. There we go. Now we're back.
For initiative.
Thanks for sticking around. We appreciate
Right,
it.
yeah.
The
mage police, you here?
As soon as Caszeel sees the council member, whips out his katana.
Well,
You're dead.
yeah.
No witnesses.
Go kill Bill on him.
Just so that Chad is aware, Melissa plays Silver had to step out for the night. So,
Okay.
but the rest of us are here. She will be missed because we love her. Okay,
Silver and
so
Justin head back to the hotel.
going. Oh yeah. Jiggly,
The
jiggly,
win for
jiggly.
the room Teagan paid for.
Right, yeah.
For a room, I asked how much they cost. I didn't
Yeah.
pay for it.
For sure. I completely forgot that you inquired about that. Okay. All right. So
You're checking out the cabinets.
That's
yeah.
right, yes.
So Caszeel, are you wanting to head over and broach with the mayor? You do still see him talking. I will explain, kind of give you a rundown of what. Now this one is because when you went, I don't know if you remember, but when you went up to the council people in the flying portion of Baryn, there were 4 of them. One of them representing each city. This one was the one that was representing Baryn. And he, it's an older, he was older compared to the other 3. Probably a human male in his probably like maybe 50s, late 50s probably, with a salt and pepper beard, wearing some like fur around his shoulders with a cape, and he has a kind of a gold ringlet on his head, crown of swords.
Stop, drop, and roll.
So
Okay. Yeah, I'm going over there.
Oh, man.
okay, all right.
Since I mean,
Yes.
Caszeel gave me the stink eye with the mayor before. So, do I notice the high council member as well?
You make a wisdom, since you didn't roll a high perception. Make a wisdom check for me, Teagan.
Sure. Wisdom check, not a save. A 14. 12 plus 2.
Okay. You do see Caszeel kind of heading over there, and as you kind of watch the mayor for a bit, you do see him talking with someone, and then the person he's talking to kind of turns to the side, and you do kind of recognize him from the council there in the Flying Baron.
Okay. I'll go hood up and still holding my little theater mask, and I will position myself with my back to him. You know, maybe 1 or 2 people away in the crowd.
Okay. All right.
Sort of like, so I can hear, but not,
Okay.
present my
So you
face
go.
to
You
them.
go. I would say because they're kind of towards the outside kind of area of this. So you do kind of go a couple pillars over, and just kind of hang out there, which is a couple pillars away from them. So you can still make another perception check for me, please.
Certainly.
And also, if you're trying to be sneaky about it, make a stealth roll, please.
Sure. Stealth first.
Sure.
14. And then perception of... Oh dear. 9. Well...
Okay. You're able to kind of get, hide yourself kind of against this pillar and also behind a couple of people who are pretty much stationed there at the same pillar, but kind of on the other side. So you're able to kind of hide yourself pretty well. You're able to pick up bits and pieces of their conversation. You do hear, Baryn, and you're only able to pick up a little bit before Caszeel starts approaching. You do hear something about Baryn. You hear kind of a manly gasp of surprise, and some kind of high pitched questions, being from one of them. Something about mages, ruins, and that's it. And then you hear the conversation kind of mute out, and that's as Caszeel approaches. Oh.
Continue to try to eavesdrop.
So they're kind of talking.
Just kind of away.
Okay, all right, because they're kind of talking amongst themselves still. The Baryn councilman turns to you, Caszeel. Yes, can we help you?
We met briefly. I'm so glad you're safe. We barely managed to find safety ourselves and I'll hold my hand out.
You know this? This is the mayor talking. You know this?
Oh, sorry.
No, you were talking to the councilman, but the mayor kind of notices you sticking your hand out and speaking to the councilman, just kind of coming out of nowhere. In looking to the councilman, you know this person? You know this person? And he reaches out, the councilman reaches out to shake your hands, Caszeel. Oh. You were in the last group that we saw.
Aye.
Glad to see you're alive as well, I guess.
Oh, that was scary. Everything happening there so fast.
The mayor's kind of looking in between the two of you, like.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. That's and I'll look over to Caszeel. I'll just hold my hand out to the mayor.
Mayor Dampsay, this is someone that was in Baryn. I would say around the time that it started to fall. He'll kind of wipe his hand. The mayor will wipe his hand on his pants, Caszeel, and reach out and shake it, and it is a little wet, a little sweaty. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
I had no idea. And Jill, you didn't say that there were other people with you. No. I don't know. I recognize this man, but I don't know him. I'm a little surprised to see you here.
I was with my patron who had some means to escape quickly. I don't know if they followed us. They didn't come out where we came out, but just a handful of us made it through. Everything happened so quickly.
Make a roll for me, Caszeel. Like, I mean, it seems kind of deception-y, because yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So make
I'm gonna roll it in
Best
here. Just
lie
there's
is the truth.
Nice.
Even though it is a lie.
Okay. His eyes are narrowed at you, Caszeel, but he nods his head. That is quite a coincidence, for sure. But I'm glad you made it out. Not too many people did, apparently.
Oh, it's kept me up these past few nights.
So did you finish your business there in Baryn?
No. We were meant to take some goods back to the Queen.
What queen was that again? I've forgotten. I'm sorry.
The Queen of Bonheim. But we were when everything went shaky, we were over there ready to pick up the goods. And didn't quite make it to the tower where the goods were kept before things went shaking all about, and we ran to my patron. More or less, I don't want to give away too much about my patron, so I hope you'll forgive a little bit of some generalization in that area, but she got us safe at least. It was harrowing.
As the councilman is still narrowing his eyes at you, Caszeel, kind of make an insight check for me, please.
15 plus 19.
You can definitely tell that he's trying to. He's a little skeptical.
Sure.
Definitely skeptical. He's trying to kind of figure it out and kind of put up your story in his head to see how it matches with what he knows happened. As he's doing that, the mayor in his, and as the mayor is short, so he's definitely shorter than you are, and he kind of giggles, kind of. Lady Bornheim, the Lady of Bornheim. He's looking between you and the councilman and Jill. She's a piece of work, I tell you. Oh man, she is just.
Well, you've met her then?
Yes. She calls herself a worshiper of the Great One, and I don't know what's going on there, but I can guarantee that if that was, and the councilman kind of waves his hand like he doesn't want to hear, okay, Dampsay, I don't need to hear it about, you know how I feel about talk of religion. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I'm just saying she's wow. So, and he looks at you, Caszeel. So, you barely made it out, huh? That's quite the story.
Perhaps I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation, but perhaps later we can grab some of this delicious cheese over there. It's fantastic, and I can tell you my experience with the Queen. I'd love to hear yours and share
the best cheese ever. You should definitely check it out.
It's fantastic. But I'll leave the two of you alone for now, so you can have at it. But I'll perhaps just wanted to. I was so relieved to see a alive and well council person that just wanted to come over and say so.
I wish I could say the same for many others, Caszeel, and he'll kind of bow.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're finishing that conversation, Caszeel, I will check in with everyone else. Teagan, what are you up to?
Hearing Cazeel's conversation, Tegan's checking the exits.
Yeah, make another perception check for me, Teagan, for the rest of that conversation.
Better. 23.
Okay, you heard a good deal of it, so yeah.
Yeah, he's on high alert now. He's
I mean,
like,
as I said, like this area is entirely open, so it's basically being like the walls are pillars. About 30 of them around in this huge circle that's supporting this main tower. So I mean, basically, you could just take 5 feet and be outside.
yeah, so I will keep my eye on Caszeel.
Okay.
And I will do it from longbow distance.
Okay. All right. Gimble, what are you up to? Are you still have you and Donelia sat down?
Yeah, I think we've danced,
People are
we've
clapping.
grabbed drinks, we've sat down, chit chat.
I toss a
So
sunflower.
have I
She's
asked you what you plan to do after this? I mean, obviously you're not going to be staying here. I mean, not obviously. I don't mean it like that. I mean, you know, you're with your friends. You guys seem to be kind of adventuring around.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what
You guys haven't made up a
next step
plan
is.
of where you're going, or are you wanting to keep it secret? You don't have to tell
No,
me if you
seriously.
if you can't.
Zero idea.
Well, that's weird. No one's talked about it, about where to go.
No, we had all been hired to find someone, and we did, but it was too late, and now we don't really know what the next step is. It's a little confusing, to say the least.
Sounds like it. Well, I'm sorry that whoever it was you were too late to help them out. Must have been upsetting. Did you know them? Were you close to them?
I wasn't, no, but Ranerius, the nervous one, he was it was his teacher and love interest, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of unexpected. I mean, he seems nice, but I wouldn't have. He doesn't seem like the type, I guess, to get involved with a teacher.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know how reciprocal it was her either. So.
Oh, so it might have been one-sided, is what you're saying.
It's hard to say.
Okay.
Wow. He hasn't really talked about it much.
I never would have guessed. People are so surprising.
That they are. Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to dance more or take a walk? Fix cabinets?
Oh, right. Gosh, yeah, we can go for a walk, and maybe I can show you what area I live in.
Sounds great.
Okay, all right. Let me just just go and she'll kind of collect the dishes. I'm gonna put these in the bin over there, and when I come back, we can go.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. And she'll take the dishes over and comes back and okay, so you guys can go out on your walk. You're just walking around town, Gimble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting the tour.
All right.
Walking around downtown.
We'll leave it there for right now. Ranerius, what are you up to? Are you still you I would say that you've been able to, because what takes 10 minutes to cast
Yeah.
comprehend. So what are you doing after you cast that?
I would have
yeah.
just been walking around the floor, trying my best not to be awkward. Not really getting into conversation with anybody, but just trying to eavesdrop.
Okay. Well, make a couple of checks for me here then. Make a perception check and make a performance check for me.
All right.
Because there's not a smooth check.
15 on perception.
Okay.
And a 2 on 4 on performance.
Wow. All right.
Well, as you're
walking around this large group of people, Ranerius, it is uncomfortable for you because there are so many and they just seem to be having such a good time, and it's just, and you're kind of also in just a weird, probably mental state yourself still. So you're having trouble kind of, looking smooth, walking, and amongst everyone, and you kind of try to like stand amongst a group of people to kind of like, listen in and be included in something and laugh awkwardly and just end up kind of like walking away, shaking your head. And there are a couple times you try to like lean against a pillar, like, smoothly as, someone's walking by and like almost miss the pillar entirely and like stumble backwards. But you do pick up in conversations. You pick up some conversations about the vigil and how blessed they are by the Great One. Also some conversations of like a couple of women pass by you, and at first they exchange pleasant greetings, and they kind of, because they're kind of like perched kind of near you where you kind of hang out for a bit, and they begin talking about a wild theory of who the Great One is, and that some say that it's just a man in a portal, and others saying that it's this great, because seeing it, and you'll hear this later and you didn't see it for yourself, so all of this sounds a little strange because you haven't seen the gate yourself and what they're talking about, the vigil. But they will talk about, is it just a man, or also is it a great god just that looks like a man through the like a man through the portal, or maybe it's a woman that just has manly features. And these are two ladies talking, not everyone, so it's not everyone's opinion, but they pass by. You also hear a couple people talking about the mayor and about if he's gotten the device fixed up in his study. And this seems to be coming from two more distinguished gentlemen, distinguishedly dressed. Almost looks too fancy for this party, but you did see them talking to the mayor earlier, so they are talking about the device, and they wonder if they'll get the parts in soon, or or if the expedition will go through. And let's see. Wow, a lot of high rolls on information. And then you also hear I would say that you also probably hear a couple of like a man and woman talking, and the woman seems to be a guest to the city as well and new to the city, and she starts to mention something about mages and that she's heard that mages are getting taken from other cities. And the man promptly is like, "Oh, we don't want to talk about that. That's we don't talk about such things in company, and that's commoner talk. That's for those that don't live in the greatness of Relesk that we do." So yeah, that's what you hear.
Very good.
Glasses. I can't take you seriously. Okay. All right. Jurble, what are you up to?
So he would have awkwardly like went and just like grabbed him, just go with the food table, grab an awkward handful of cheese, and just like hold it. But then he's gonna turn back around and see where Caszeel went because he said he'd keep an eye out. And does he? Do I see him go talk to the council member, and then does Jurble recognize the council member? That's
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was looking at a note really quick. Who are you keeping an eye on?
Caszeel, because I said I'd keep an eye on him.
Oh, okay.
But then I got distracted and got the cheese.
Let's see.
I don't blame you one bit.
It's awkward just holding cheese.
Make another perception check for me, Jurble.
Come on, Jurble. Hey,
Ooh.
15.
All right.
It's one better than
Yeah,
normal.
you do see Caszeel walking over towards the mayor, and as he's walking over there, you do see another figure talking to the mayor that even from the distance that you're standing seems kind of familiar. And then he turns and you catch, even though it's as I said, some distance away, you catch some features of his face and like the ringlet, and it's been your memories of Baryn and just everything that happened in there is so fresh that it comes to your, this is one of the council people of Baryn. You don't remember like his name or anything, but yeah.
I gonna immediately just kind of like drop the cheese out of my hand and just and then quickly like scan the room for everybody else.
As you drop, did you drop like a plate or just the cheese?
Just the cheese. I didn't have a plate.
Okay. All right. As you drop the cheese, a tiefling passes by and starts to step on it, and then like immediately pulls back, noticing it, and like looks to you and looks down, and then like calls for a waiter to come in and clean up the mess, and kind of gives you this kind of snarky look before walking away.
Sorry. Just looking for Teagan, looking for Ranerius, looking for Silver and Jocelyn, looking for Gimble.
Okay,
just looking for
with that, I would say that you're able to see, of course, Caszeel. Teagan might be a little bit hard, since I'm sure Teagan's probably staying a little bit stealthy.
I don't see Teagan when he's stopping.
Oh, that's right. Teagan rolled like a 4 on stealth, though, didn't you?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so you're able to see Teagan kind of hanging out a couple of pillars away, from the mayor and Caszeel. You're able to see, probably by this time, you're able to see Wren sitting on. Well, no, you wouldn't see. Yeah, you'd see Wren kind of sitting on the steps, and maybe Mags. You would see Silver sitting at a table with Jocelyn. Actually, I'll say that they've kind of moved kind of to the outside area, but you see them kind of on the outside area behind Pillar. Just talking, nothing else. And let's see, who else? Of course, you would see I would say that Gimble and Donelia are getting up, ready, heading out. Okay. And you would see Ranerius kind of awkwardly walking around. So yeah, you would see everyone. I'm sorry, I had to go through it in my head.
No, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna, after I got eyes on everybody, I'm gonna kind of go over to where Teagan is.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of like, is Caszeel talking to who I think he's talking to?
Yes. I'll just like sort of shrug, shake my head. It's like, and he's admitted to being in Baryn.
What?
I don't know how the man walks.
I think we should get back to the house, to the apartment, to the place.
We should definitely we should be on high alert. I mean,
okay.
Should
I let?
Well, you're not here, so you're here.
Should I let everyone know? Wren is over there on the stairs, and Ranerius is walking around. Should I go ahead and like just let him know that's like probably need to not be seen?
We should just alert them to what we've seen. And then, maybe we should slowly, not in a group, en masse, but one by one, make our way back to the safe house.
I think Gimble already left with his. I don't know if she's the ex anymore, but.
Does anybody know anything ever in these situations?
No.
You can't assume.
So, okay. You keep on. Keep watching the bard, and I'll go.
All right, alert the others.
I'll go, and I'll start just kind of casually make my way towards Wren and Mags.
Okay. All right. So that brings me to Wren. You're sitting over there on the steps with Mags still, unless you were doing anything else. Just kind of keeping an eye out.
That's what I was gonna be doing. Not really even. I'm not really keeping an eye out attentively. More kind of just. I'm more in my own head.
Roll a perception check for Mags, please.
Gladly. Terrible. 1.
Ouch. Okay.
Well, 6.
Poor
altogether.
Mags.
6 total.
Damn.
All right. Yeah. So you're hanging out. I would say, Jurble, you would find Wren over there on the steps with Mags.
Okay, I'm gonna. Is there anyone else sitting in steps? Like, I know there's teenagers. Are they still like around the steps?
Yeah. There's a couple, but not sitting around where Wren's at. They're more kind of up the steps a bit, more into the darker areas of the steps.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of sit down on like. Actually, I don't know. Does Mags even like me? I don't even know.
She
Okay.
likes everybody, it seems.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like sit down on the other side of.
How big are these
Mags.
steps?
Oh, how big? I'm sorry, I was looking at something.
How wide are these steps?
Oh, the width of the steps, they're pretty like imagine like the Titanic staircase. Although it's not so like grand
Yeah.
and like but it is stone, but it's pretty wide.
He's sitting there. There's
Okay.
space for him, is what you're saying.
Okay.
Yes.
Not this
Oh, yeah,
awkward,
for
like
sure.
he's squeezing.
For sure. There's
Squeeze.
there's space for both of you to sit down. We'll say that Mags will kind of reposition herself kind of on the step in front of you, and there's still room for people to get through.
Gotcha.
Okay. So
I'll notice him. Oh, hey, what's up?
just beautiful wolf. And I'll start like scratching Mags, and they'll kind of like lean over, whisper, and be like, "There's one of the council members of Baryn is here.
How?
And I don't know, but Cazeel's talking to him. And Teagan has a parent. Teagan said he's just flat out been like, "Oh hey, you survived. So did we. So I'm just letting you know in case we have to get out of here. So I think
Should I just leave now?
that's what I want to do. But I told Teagan I'd tell everybody that's here. I think Gimble already left with Donelia, whatever her name was. Yeah.
Nailed it. First try. What was her name? I don't know.
Donelia.
Donelia. I'll correct you then. I'll say no, it's Donelia.
Actually it's Donelia.
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 Say Donelia, I say
You mean-
Donelia.
You mean Donelia?
It's yes, the X. He went with the X out of the party.
Okay. Did I see Gimble when he left?
had a mask
make
on.
a
How could you?
Make
That's
a
a great point.
perception check for me.
Great point.
Only one who danced the waltz on the top of a robotic dog.
Oh, where's, but there it is. 13.
You notice that they're not at the table anymore.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, I'll just hang out here if you want, and just kind of catch my eye and tell me when you want to leave, and I'll head out. Unless you want me to head out now.
I mean, I'll leave that up to you. The main thing Teagan said, which is smart, is we probably all should leave as a group, you know. So I just let you know, do what you think best.
Okay.
Can't have a simple night's peace.
Never.
You know, ironically, before Caszeel went to go talk to the guy, he told me, enjoy yourself. We can enjoy and then he goes and does something like this, and now my enjoyment's gone. I was about to eat some cheese. I'll get up and I'll get up and try to see. I assume Ranerius is probably the next closest one. It's just
my plan is I'll like head out.
Okay.
But what I want to do is not actually go straight back. I want to head to where I'm kind of almost out of the area where it is, but to where I can kind of either find a bench or something and sit and watch the area as well, just in case. Not that I expect a fight to break out, but
Okay.
and then as soon as I see a couple other people leaving entirely, then I'll find another way back, but not pair up with them.
Okay. Okay, so as the two of you head down the steps, Mags is in tow of you, Wren. As you reach the bottom, suddenly everything becomes dark. It's almost like it's a heavy dark fog that suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
So not like just the power going out, like
no,
something.
you take a couple of steps and it's just this heavy black, almost fogged, where you can't even see the hand in front of your face. You don't see any lights in the room. You hear several gasps, but even those seem far away. And you hear some, of course, low chatter and just a couple of women screaming, but even those things seem very muted.
Is that for all of us or just me?
Nope, everyone.
Okay. Just checking.
Oh boy.
Except for those that already left, right?
No, exactly. Gimble, you are fine. You and Donelia are having a great walk out in the city. I would say, even given what this is, you probably don't even hear anything. Other than what you would just mistake for people having a great time. What to do? I'm just gonna just
kill the party.
Go with it. Caszeel.
Gimble hears screaming distance. Must be someone just going, ow!
Yeah, it's just someone having, exactly.
Nice.
Caszeel, at this point, you just take a few steps away from the mayor and the councilman. This darkness hits, and you hear the screams, you hear the chatter, you hear the kind of like you would hear being so close to the mayor where the mayor was. You would hear kind of the clanging of metal, and someone saying, we need to get him out of here, and then you feel a sharpness in your stomach. And it feels like a knife being twisted there.
Ugh.
You feel make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay. Let's do it. Oops. wisdom save. Almost a 15. 9.
Oh, you feel a very, it is a deep anger, darkness kind of sit within you and just kind of stir with that wound. Do you reach down and like touch it, or
The wound, that is.
yeah, do you reach down and
reach-
touch and like to
I
see
don't.
what's happening?
Feeling this pain and well, darkness happens. If I felt that pain right after talking to this person, I'm gonna reach down and touch my hand on the stone in my pocket,
Okay.
my sending stone,
Okay.
and just
So you're standing there, you're feeling this knife in your stomach, and you're just kind of you feel the sudden kind of darkness and anger, and in fact, I would say that you probably also hear this woman. It sounds very clear and like it's right in front of you. This kind of womanly but guttural yell. So you reach for the stone.
Yep.
And you feel the knife pull out.
Okay.
What are you doing with the stone?
I'm gonna send a message to Milady saying, in the town center of Relesk, spoke with council person Thurigoat, then got stabbed in darkness. Can you help? It's a terrible sound into my mental message.
Just as you finish the message, you feel the knife go in. You feel the same pain, Caszeel, as something goes in a second time, and kind of in a different spot. And then, like, just as quick as the no, we'll go to this. You feel suddenly a hot breath against your ear.
Mm-hmm.
It's all your fault.
What is?
And then the knife pulls out again.
It's.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna call out to whoever might be near. I'm getting stabbed over here.
And the rest of you roll perception checks that are in this area, please.
As soon as it went dark, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to summon my owl because it has dark vision.
Okay. So you would have summoned your owl. Your owl would have, flown down to you. Or no, it wasn't perched anywhere. So yeah, you summon your owl. What are you having your owl do during this, Ranerius?
Just sit on my shoulder so I could see in the dark.
Okay. Roll your perception check for me.
Sorry, hang on.
Okay. Oh
8.
man, God. You can't. You're having it. You can't really see through this darkness, Ranerius. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Cast detect magic.
Okay. How long does that take to cast again?
1 action.
Okay.
Using a spell slot.
You cast detect magic, Ranerius, as soon as you realize you're not going to be able to see through this. Are you trying to detect magic on this darkness?
It just anything magical within 30 feet, I can see it give off some sort of
I'm trying to
aura.
think of where you were kind of over there. Okay. Within 30 feet, you would all around you, I mean, of course, this darkness lights up and you recognize it as darkness. Beyond that, I mean, you see little kind of things here and there on like maybe a couple people around you, but it just seems like maybe something in their pockets, like a trinket or something. Nothing that to really alarm you.
Do I hear Gimble, or sorry, do I hear Caszeel shouting out?
Not with that perception check, no.
Okay.
Wren, Mags immediately, as soon as the darkness hits, gets to attention and almost kind of takes off without you and starts barking through and growling through the darkness.
I'm assuming because she's barking and growling, I have an idea of where she went.
Yeah, I would say with your...
Like directionally. Like...
Yeah, with your, and then plus you did a 21 perception, so yeah, you would be able to kind of directionally kind of be able to follow her. As you're moving, you do bump into people as you're walking, and because people are just kind of, trying to figure out what to do. You still have people kind of talking as you're passing, what is this? And, we should get, we should get people out. And then as you move closer into the darkness, or as you move further into the darkness, you would hear Cazeel's call.
And did Mags move towards Caszeel, or
yeah, I would
else?
say that Mags is moving in that direction. Yes.
Okay. Then I'll keep just following as quick as I can.
Okay. Teagan, you are not. You did not hear Cazeel's call, but what do you want to be doing during this time?
So I got enveloped by darkness too?
Yeah, you were on the first floor, right? The main level?
Yeah, I was like circling around. I mean,
yep.
staying. Yeah.
Unless, yeah. I mean,
like,
as long as you
I was going to say, about
area.
30 feet away from, from Caszeel when that probably went down. So, oh God, enveloped in darkness. Probably his instincts, to be honest. If he doesn't hear anything, and he sees this darkness happen, he's going to go belly down prone.
Okay. All right.
And wait to see if this darkness goes away, because he just wants to avoid getting like accosted,
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Really?
Well, because you have people moving around, and they can't see.
Okay, fair enough.
Teagan falls onto somebody.
Well.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Is that your second natural one tonight?
Yeah, that's the second one tonight.
I would say put it in dice jail, but you have to throw your whole computer.
Yeah.
Computer jail.
Okay.
All right. Teagan, you fall. You just kind of stare out confused and just kind of go with your instincts and just go to the ground. Belly. You said belly up or belly like on your belly?
No, on my belly.
On your belly.
Face
on
down.
The floor. Face down. And you do that kind of not too pretty quickly after the darkness hits, since that's your instinct. A couple people do step on you, so add 6 damage to your
That's
HP.
a lot of damage.
You do, because you do have a couple people like a guard with his heavy boot steps on you. A couple of people trip. Of course, that doesn't really bother you, but you do feel like maybe you're kind of like, maybe this wasn't the best decision. Jurble, what are you doing? Once the darkness hits and you take those first couple of steps off of the steps and that darkness hits. What was your...
I rolled an 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine with an 8, I did not hear Caszeel.
No, but what do you want to be doing during that time where all that was happening?
I would kind of like immediately freeze and he'll just kind of like wait and like try to figure out what's going on. But he'll just kind of like stand there at the base stairs, and I assume would I hear Mags do her thing?
Barking?
Yeah, like when I hear Mags like
no,
run,
not with that perception check.
even though I was right there. Okay, all right. Well then I'll just kind of like freeze. And...
I mean, you would have heard her maybe bark right there at you, but then like once she ran to the darkness and Wren ran to the darkness, no clue.
Okay, and I can't see a thing.
Nope.
Okay, I'm just gonna like. Was the staircase? Was it like you said the Titanic? So it was like in the middle of an area. There's not like a wall I can back up into.
No, you just stepped off of the staircase. I mean, you can back up around 5 feet and hit that wall. Actually, it's the wall with the gate on it with the double doors that has the gate over it, the metal gate.
And imagine a lot of people are gonna be trying to like run through that. I'm just gonna like with as best as he could kind of remember, which probably isn't good. He's just gonna try to like back up out of the way, and he's gonna have one hand on his war pick, but he's not gonna draw it. Then the other hand's gonna be on the cheese wheel.
As you start to back up, Jurble, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, joy. Wisdom saving throw. I mean, hey, it's not my worst thing. 15.
You feel this, like something in your mind trying to calm you down. It almost sounds like a familiar voice, just saying over and over, "It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Don't panic." And as you're hearing that, it's kind of disorienting you. You feel this, well, first you hear the voices of just get in through the door. Just go. And you feel this, at first something kind of bumps into you, as you're backing up and getting this kind of sensory overload. And then you feel a gauntleted hand kind of grasp you and pull you. And the next thing you know, you're in this, you're kind of in this space with two other individuals, and it doesn't feel, and you hear this kind of this sliding of metal, and then this sliding of metal again, and then this kind of mechanical whirring, and a light goes up and turns on, and which is completely disorienting to you because you were just in this complete darkness. And you're in this small room, which it's technically like a lift, a mechanical elevator, with the mayor and 2 guards.
But what?
One of the guards draws his weapon. The other guard kind of puts his hand out. He was in the way. I decided to bring him on. It's fine. And he kind of looks over and like looks you up and down. The guard does, and the mayor looks completely just surprised and kind of in a state of mind of his own. You stay with us. You'll be safe. We're taking him up to his loft. You can stay there until it's over, until we hear word that things have cleared. Or I can send you back on the elevator once we get up there. Whatever you want to do.
Okay,
that's the guard talking to you.
Okay. Do you know what's going on?
No, just darkness. It was magical. Ted over here pointed out that it seemed like it's something magical, and he's a little bit of arcane juby, and the other guard's like, come on, now's not the time. But we're going to get him safe. Mayor, you're going to be fine. Okay, all right. He'll kind of wipe his hands on his pants and reach out to you, Jurble.
Grosso.
It's a pleasure. And what's your name, sir? And he's looking up to you because he's short. He was short to Caszeel, so he's definitely short to you. And you are?
I'm Jurble. Jurble, nice to meet you, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Well, you seem like an okay person. You don't know who caused this, right?
I don't know. I don't even know what happened. I was just minding my own business, and then just darkness, and immediate reaction was just to back up, and then all of a sudden I'm here with you. Would you like sunflower?
And as you offer him a sunflower. Maybe later.
Yeah.
God
So
bless it. Are we up there yet? We're almost there, Mayor. And as you're having that conversation, you will go to who have we not checked in with yet? Teagan? No, Teagan went prone. Ranerius. No, you did that. I think we've checked in with everyone.
Gimble.
Well, Gimble is having his phone. We'll get to that in a bit.
He's working on hinges.
Gimble and
Hinges on his armor.
Donelia are just kind of strolling around a bit. Donelia will take you kind of in the borough where she lives. Gimble. Well, here we are. And we'll skip to someone else. Wren, as you're following Mags through the darkness, and you're getting closer and closer. I mean, just as a player, you're getting closer and closer to Caszeel. Mags, you're following the sound of Mags, and Mags suddenly just growls, and you hear this and like this woman kind of scream out with this hoarse voice, and you hear Mags kind of growling, and as you get to where you're following Mags to, you almost trip over someone on the floor. Caszeel, while this is happening, you kind of feel that breath on you, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and you hear that. You hear kind of the same voice kind of yelling out, and almost like a thump to the floor. Darkness disperses. And Caszeel, Wren, you're looking down at Mags holding, kind of straddling Ingot on the floor.
Does she look... Oh, God, sorry.
No, that's okay. She doesn't have anything in her hands, but there is a knife with blood on it that's about a foot away from her. Wren, if you look over at Caszeel, he is standing there with blood pouring out of his stomach.
I'm going to... Two questions. Can I stand by where the knife is and be close enough to Ingot to draw my sword and hold it at her? And touch Caszeel at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty much right there, close to each other.
Okay, then I'll draw my sword and point it at her and reach over, and I'll touch Caszeel and do cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Oh man.
It does help the pain some, Caszeel, but you are still kind of losing a little. It's still bleeding a little bit. Maybe healed you up like 50% of the way.
Oh, did you know?
It was your fault. And this is Ingot on the floor, and she is just looking at the two of you and just struggling against Mags, and you hold out the sword, Wren, and she stops struggling as much, but she is just kind of laying on the floor with her kind of elbows back, propping herself up. You did it. It was all your fault. You're the one that brought the city down, and you're not even sorry about it.
What?
And
what are you talking about?
the crowd around is, you have people who are just, it's dispersed maybe 50%, but you still have maybe 30 people in the room, along with the councilman, who is standing about 5 feet, about 8 feet away, and Lashta is still there. Probably Wren would notice this more than you, Caszeel, since you are kind of in the state that you're in and still recovering. But you do still have there. You can tell that there are people around Wren and that they are kind of listening to what Ingot is saying. You killed her.
Who are you?
Okay. We need to stop this now. She's having one of her episodes again. I'm gonna look up at Lashta, you said?
Yes, Lashta's standing about 10 feet away and looking from Ingot to
ma'am,
the rest
can you
of
help us get her back to her home so before she hurts someone else? And I'm gonna reach down and grab the dagger as well. Sir, I'm gonna look at Caszeel. Sir, I'm so sorry that happened to you. We will be in contact to see if we can help take care of any medicine bills you might have or things that might come from. She has these episodes every once in a while. I don't know quite what. Sir, and I'll look at the other.
Bloody stop me!
While you're doing that, give me 1 second here. I'm just looking up some stuff.
Stat blocks.
And I also want to, while you're looking that up, I'm going to I'll apologize to the other guy to make sure, the council member, to make sure he's okay, but I don't want to look exactly at him to give him a full face
while you are making this speech, Wren, and what you're saying now and what you were just saying, she continues to yell out, you brought down the city. You killed her. You killed her. And all you've been talking about is your self-righteousness and helping me, and you don't even care. No one has even.
I want to kneel down to her and get really close in her face, and I want to say, it is not our fault that she died. She took, and I'm going to kind of whisper this so not everybody hears it. She sacrificed her life so that you can live. It was her choice. She could have come with us. We saved you. You are alive. I'm sorry that you have to live without that. But that was her choice, and you can either honor her with that, as she tried to save her friends, or you can make a big fuss of it and ruin your life all the same.
You know nothing, and you will pay. And then she disappears.
Ooh.
Mags is make a wisdom check for Mags. Not a saving throw, just a check, please.
Not a save. Okay. Not great.
Mags is confused.
Mags
just kind of looks around frantically after Ingot disappears, and with her ears perked, and just kind of runs in a couple of different directions, she's trying to locate something. She has no idea where it's at, or that everyone in the room that's left, the 30 people, gasp. And a few of them kind of just start dispersing, just leaving. A few of the guards seem kind of on edge around the two of you, and just kind of are not really sure. They kind of look to you, and one guard comes up. What's the meaning of this? What? And he looks to one of the servers. Do we have a medic or something we can get this man? Please. Maybe anyone know healing here? Go over and get someone from the gala. I'm sure that they there might be someone left. I'm sure that they ran whenever they heard the screaming. But go and check. And the guard looks back to the two of you. We'll get you some help, okay? He says that to you, Caszeel.
Thank you.
He looks to you,
thank
Wren.
you.
What's the meaning of this? What is going on? This is obviously tied to the both of you. You put our mayor's life at risk. You're new to town, I know that much.
Well, you know, everything went black. I'll look up at Wren. Kind of don't know him. Oh.
Yes, and improv. Go.
Caszeel, make a perception check for me. Or you know what? Yeah, make a perception check. That's fine.
Okay. Yoink. Yeah, 12.
As you're struggling to answer, Caszeel, and you look past the guard and kind of towards the other side of the room, you see that familiar face again that you saw at the engine earlier. You see just a quick... He's watching you, and then as soon as you lock eyes, he kind of ducks back into the darkness, from behind a pillar. So. He was dressed in a very nice suit too, from what you could tell.
So you get that to look forward to.
Snappy dressing bastard.
If it's who he thinks it is.
Nice.
So the guard is still looking at the two of you.
The girl was a woman that came with me and my friends earlier. We met her along the way to here, and there was a fight that broke out, and her significant other perished, and she blames us for it.
What was it that she was talking about? A city? Baryn?
That I'm not sure, actually.
I know I can answer that. I was just talking with the councillor and the mayor about the councillor's slim escape from the city. And I think she must have been right nearby. Oh, I don't even know why she bloody stabbed me twice. Oh. I'll lay back like I'm in super pain. Oh. Is there a healer around?
Is it still dark?
Yes. It's,
No.
it's still dark.
Okay.
Like the magic darkness?
Well, it's not the magic darkness.
No, it's not the
anymore.
magic darkness. I'm sorry. It's still dark
Oh, okay.
outside, like naturally. But
It's
the magic
still
darkness.
evening.
The magic darkness dispersed when she was knocked to the ground. Because
Oh.
when you say that, Caszeel, one of the server kind of rushes back and brings with, and like trailing right behind him is this let's see here, Stephanie, where's your pictures? Trailing right behind him is this female, and she is dressed in this very kind of elaborate, tight-fitting dress with these gold accents, Caszeel, with these kind of shoulders, these gold, kind of almost like metal shoulder things that kind of go out to here, long
Nice.
black hair. She comes over and kneels down to you, and it's all right, I got him, and
Thank you, lass.
will place a hand on your wound, and you feel almost 100% better pretty quickly.
Oh.
You feel that kind of magic kind of almost melt the wound together.
I've had healing before, but nothing quite that fantastic. Oh, you healed me right up. Oh, such fine work. Thank you, lass. Oh.
Anytime. Well, I guess that's all. Or do you have more injured somewhere? She looks to the guards. No. And I don't know if I said this woman is Elvan. dark, kind of a tanned skin.
I have the name of the person that saved me. I'll start standing up a little bit.
Oh, names are too easy. Anyways, if you want to see me, I usually perform tricks over at the gala. For hire, of course.
Well,
I'll be heading back over there. I think we might get some more people heading back in. She's telling this to the guards. If I can have my leave. Certainly. If the mayor needs any attending to, you see her, Caszeel, since you're probably closer to her, you see her kind of make this kind of disgusted face. If you need something, yes, I can help. All right, thanks. And she kind of glances at you, Caszeel, before walking away.
Her head nodded. And half smiling.
The guard kind of looks back to you and Caszeel, or Wren and Caszeel. Well, I think that if you're not opposed, I'd like to take you up to talk to the mayor and see what he thinks of the situation, get his pull on this, since this does seem to be a threat to the city, since we have no idea where she's at. Do you have an idea of where she went?
No, I didn't. No idea.
Okay. Wren and Caszeel and anyone else who's in this room, make a fresh perception check for me.
Also, did she didn't disappear with her dagger, right?
Nope, dagger's still there.
Whenever if there's an opportune moment, I want to try and kneel down and grab it without anybody noticing.
Make a stealth check.
My perception was 10, by the way.
Okay. Thank you.
My stealth was crap anyway, as well. 8.
Yeah, you kind of start to go for it at one point when you think no one's looking, but then you see them kind of glance back. So you, you can either still try to go for it or just kind of, I would say as a ranger, you would kind of notice that and, just see that there's not an opportune moment right now to grab the...
I'm going to still pick it up anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
I'm not going to pocket it. I'm just going to pick it up.
One of the guards, there's about 2 guards there. One of the guards is kind of looking in a different direction. The other one sees you pick up the dagger. Is that it? Is that what she used?
I believe so. Didn't know if you needed evidence or not.
I'll take that and he'll reach out for it.
I'll give it to him.
Okay. Thank you. Kind of look at it and with a look of disgust on his face, and we'll give that to the mayor. So is it just the 2 of you? Anyone else in your group?
Is Mags right by me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of came back to your feet. She still looks alert and kind of on edge. I was gonna say that Ranerius, your owl, would see that Lashta is gone, as well as the councilman. And Caszeel, you would have noticed that as well.
Okay.
So is there anyone else in your party besides the 2 of you and the dog?
I think it's just us here tonight. The rest of elsewhere. Kind of look around, make sure no one's obvious.
Teagan, what are you doing? Because you were laying on the floor. What are you doing now?
The lights come back on.
He's just laying on the floor.
I will quietly and sort of like
commando crawl.
I can't think of the movie. Yeah, no, I'll get up and sort of like I will move out. I will watch what's going on, but slowly, like I'm moving out with the crowd, to the exit.
All right, I would say
I'll see what went on with.
I would say with the people who started to disperse after the lights came back on, you would be able to do so. Jurble, what are you doing? Oh, you were upstairs. Never mind.
Yeah.
Ranerius, what are you doing? after since say the darkness lifted?
I think I would walk towards Caszeel, seeing Caszeel stabbed, and I guess watching him be healed and stuff. I think I'd walk towards to see if he's okay.
All right. So
yes. Oh, no, just play along.
They would include you with the group of the three of them with mags.
While I'm doing that, I'm also like looking for any magic auras. Like, is that dagger? Does it have any magic coming off of it? Or
nope.
Is there anything?
No
weird?
magic coming off the dagger. There's really not much else. I mean, you would have saw like once the lights came back on, you would have saw a faint aura around. You would have saw an aura around Ingot. But other than that, not really. And then you would have seen like an aura around the woman that came in to heal Caszeel as well. All right. So, all right. Well, let's. So, the guard will take the three of you and Mags over to the where that gate was, which is open, but there is like double doors there, and he will kind of flip a switch off to the side, and the doors will open, and you will get onto, and they'll kind of usher you to get onto the lift, the mechanical lift.
Take my spot.
Do all three of you get in?
I'll follow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys take the lift up. Any conversation you want to have in the lift at all?
That plays with your stomach, doesn't it?
You get used to it. Have all of you?
Are you sure you're okay, Caszeel?
Oh, thank you, lad. I think so. I was thankfully Wren sealed up the worst part of it, and then there's a lass that healed the rest. Pay no mind to the blood. That's just on the clothes now.
I was worried for a second. I don't heal people, but I'm glad you're all right.
Glad, I appreciate that. Are all the parties like this?
No, that's why we're so concerned.
Thank goodness.
Have all of you met Mayor Dampsay?
I have. I'm not sure if I'll look at Wren and Ranerius.
The guard looks to Wren and Ranerius.
I have not. No,
I saw him from afar.
Okay, well, you'll get your chance.
Should I be wearing my mask while talking to the mayor? Is the party over?
No, I would say the party's over, son.
Oh, okay.
We're wasting one. The party's over.
And the guard kind of shakes his head and looks to the other guard like this guy. All right, so you guys get to the, you hear the kind of the whirring of the mechanics in the lift, and it suddenly kind of grinds to a stop, almost a little joltingly. The guard kind of flips a switch off to the side. The doors open, and he kind of slides across a metal gate. And as you step into this kind of elaborate parlor, you see a familiar face, Jurble, standing with the guard.
So, anyways, I heard the cheese was just to die for, but I couldn't get any. Then the lights went out, and it's a shame, really.
I didn't get much either.
Oh, look at you! Look at you!
Hello.
Have you guys met the mayor? He's a very swell guy.
Mayor! Oh, I've got a new story to share.
Let's go and it's a pleasure. Is everything clear? He looks to one of the guards, and the guard nods. Darkness dispersed. Unfortunately, we lost the person that was the cause of it. Oh, that's incredible. That's terrifying. And he looks to all of you kind of with this crazed, frightened look in his eyes. Oh, I'm gonna need some tea. I need to settle my nerves. Let's all go and take a seat, and we can talk about this. And and he kind of turns, and the guards kind of usher you back deeper into the office, and we will turn to Gimble and Donelia. So, I might just turn in. I might, getting a little late.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Can I?
Do you need any tea or anything before you head home, or do
Yeah,
you have food
that
wherever
would-
you're staying? Did you ever say where you're staying? Where are you staying?
Probably not. Oh, rental apartment-y
An
thing.
Airbnb.
I actually
Gotcha.
don't know. Yeah, I don't actually know if I'd be able to find my way back from here.
There are about 20 listings here. I've looked at it before for some friends. Yeah.
Yeah, tea would be great.
Okay, and we'll get you something to eat. I don't want you going home. I mean, I know that there was food there, but I mean, it was basically appetizers.
Well,
Unfortunately,
you'll have to-
missed the best part. They usually have a huge dessert buffet, but
Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but this was nice.
yes.
I enjoyed it. All right, let's get you some food. Let's go.
As long as I can help cook.
Absolutely. So she will kind of take you into this kind of 2-story apartment of sorts, and takes you up a set of steps. Her apartment isn't it's cute. It's not, it's not elaborately decorated. But it's done nicely. You see there are a couple of interesting like metalworks on the wall. Like there's a sword. There's like this weird kind of like almost metal abstract piece. But yeah, a lot of metal because she does work at the engine and she likes metal work.
Are these all things that you've made?
Yeah. I kind of, mess around sometimes. This piece right here, and she's kind of pointing to the abstract metal piece. I like it. It seems it speaks to me a bit. Just kind of put it together, and yeah.
What inspired it?
Oh, well, you did?
What?
Yeah.
In a good way or in a bad way?
No, in a good way. When I work like that, when I'm put more expression into my work, I think about things, and people, and and some of the pieces, and she kind of gestures one on another wall that's smaller, that was my parents, and and it's kind of, and as you look at it, Gimble, the one on the other wall that she motioned for, that represented, that when she was thinking about her parents when she made it, is very, it's kind of like this circle with these kind of warm colored, tinted metals kind of in it, also with some bluer tones, and she motions to another one that represents the town that she said that represents the towns that she's lived in, and it's like different colors of metal, kind of almost different styles kind of put into one piece, like 4 or 5 different styles put into one piece. And then she gestures back to the one that that both of you are kind of standing close to. And make an investigation check for me, please.
Oh my. I think I can do investigation all right. As long as I roll above a 10.
Okay.
Or a 10.
Plus 7.
Okay.
You do notice that the one that you're standing by, that she said that she was thinking about you, does have this kind of it has several colors in it, but they're all kind of weaved together, and there is this one kind of, in like the bottom left hand corner, there's this kind of very red tinted heart shape. that's kind of embedded into the piece. Yeah.
Wow. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Well, let's get to fixing that food, right?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Food.
Gimble, yes.
I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this, at any of this, and
Bad at what?
I don't know. Talking?
You've been doing pretty good so far. It's fine.
Oh,
I mean,
thank
we're
you.
both good at talking. I mean, that's, you know.
Always a skill
Yes.
that we have shared. Yes. I don't know.
What don't you know?
I just feel like us not knowing what our next steps are and ending up here of all places and
Mm-hmm.
and you being here and
Mm-hmm. Seems kind of beyond coincidence, right?
right.
I think so too. And
Yeah.
she will kiss you, Gimble. And we will.
Dexterity saving
There
throw.
we go. And that's where we're going to end tonight's
Performance
session.
check. Performance check.
No, not performance. I'm bad at that.
All right. Well, thank you, players. It's been a joy and a
Indeed.
wild night. Hopefully
We know
guys-
how to crash a party.
You
like,
really do.
yes.
Always.
You really do.
Always.
Oh,
We
man.
crash parties. We crash cities.
Yeah.
Just all
I love
all
just
the
the
day's work.
We crash parties like we crash cities, hard and fast.
You absolutely do.
and what's the common denominator? Caszeel. No.
Oh my gosh.
I loved how like we didn't even like play it like an awful joke, but just because they'll be like, remember to enjoy yourself, Jurble.
Oh
You
man.
guys were great. It was great.
A lot of fun, as always. Thank you so much, Steph.
chat, for hanging out. It was. Hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully we entertained you. Got your mind off of things for a bit. I don't have the schedule graphic in here, so I will just go through it. You've been watching The Forsaken, which is at 10 p.m. on Monday nights Eastern time. They haven't done a lot of quest hoarding in the past couple of episodes, but usually they're our quest hoarding campaign.
Hey, well, we're finally splitting the team.
Right now, you really
Good old
are.
days.
Right now, it's, yeah,
4.
it's date
'Cause-
night.
So yeah, Silver and Gimble are on dates. Teagan's off who knows where.
Yeah, yeah.
The rest of us are having tea with the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, no,
Ranerius
pretty good
has
night.
volunteered himself.
Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time is Cures Limit, which is our All Evil campaign, which is DM'd by Dan. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time is Mad Bird Squawks, which is our D&D talk therapy, or yes, where players from all the campaigns come and talk about their characters or about certain things with the campaigns. This week is a really cool episode. I mean, cool, and it will be very interesting. It's about character deaths, and so we have 4 players, right, Dan?
Yeah, if everyone's showing up this week, yeah, that'd be amazing. Yep,
Yeah.
it'll be 4.
We have Mariah from Friday nights, who will be talking about Brixie.
Trixie.
We
Almost
have
Rain.
Spoilers.
we have Sam. Sam is going to be on talking about her
Yeah.
2 character deaths.
Or Mia
And then who are
and
the
Mina.
other 2, Dan?
Well, then we have, who else lost their character so early?
Pepino?
Oh, both from Obsidian Scar. There's Emilio
Oh yeah,
with Pepino
and Steven.
and Steven.
Okay,
How
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be a very interesting.
I haven't got to those seasons yet.
It should be a very interesting talk for sure. Thursdays we don't have anything right now. Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Well, Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern time is Mad Art with Steph, where moi, does fan art that everyone votes on in our Discord channel. So check that out if you're not part of our Discord. We do votes usually weekly. This week I'll be working on a couple pieces that I've already started, so there's no vote this week, but there will be next week. This week we'll be working on our Linux and Ileana piece that we started impromptu on Sunday night in a special Mad Art with Stuff. And then also working on possibly Bandit or the Jurble and Shanad piece if I don't get that finished. So that'll be fun. So pop in then. 10 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays is Stormfall, which is our after-school special good campaign for the most part. Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time is our newest campaign, which is Tower of Dreams that Andrew DMs. And I'm in Frank is in as well. It is a great time. Definitely stop in and check us out because and it's super, like, we're early in the campaign, so it'd be easy to catch up on YouTube. So go at it. It's definitely turning out to be a lot of fun and very interesting for sure. I love it. Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern time is Obsidian Scar, which is our proper naughty campaign that Victoria DMs. And there'll be more stuff to come in the future. Soon future. So you guys have a wonderful night. Dan, are we rating anyone?
We are indeed, but we don't have anyone on our great Tabletop Gaming Network stream. It's just a replay from someone. Scabby Rooster's up, and they've rated us a few times.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're heading over to Scabby Rooster. Stick around and give them some love over there. Give them a few words of encouragement. Watch their game a bit. They are a fun group. So, all right. Well, good night, guys. Thank you for joining. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.